Hey, what's going on YouTube? Richard Razor Sharp here with another video looking at, is the Wahl Detailer Li still a good purchase in 2025? Before we get into it, if you could please like the video, leave your comments, click the subscribe button to help the channel grow. It will be much appreciated. Okay, let's get into it. So the Wahl Detailer Li originally came out in the UK in 2019, I believe it was October 2019, and at the time of its release it was £131.99, I believe. Today you can get this original kind of burgundy version. I've seen it on Amazon for £112, but if you wanted to get one of the newer versions, one of the newer colorways, you have the gold and black version, which I believe has a DLC coated blade, which is £138 as it stands at the moment. Now, in terms of some of the text and specs of this trimmer, so the main thing would be firstly runtime. 100 minutes runtime, and then charging time is 45 minutes on this trimmer. And this trimmer was much anticipated when it came out. If some of you remember, this was originally a corded version, and then Wahl released the first version of the Wahl Detailer, which wasn't very successful, in that a lot of people didn't like it. It had a little bail arm on the side. Some of you may remember the one, and it just wasn't that great, and it quickly got scrapped and got discontinued. Wahl went back to the drawing board, and then they brought out this version, which was very much true to the original corded version and has been known to be an absolute beast of a trimmer, been very successful since its release. So let's cover off some kind of the positives first before we get into what may be a few negatives, before I give you my opinion on is it still worth purchasing it this year or in 2025. So firstly, affordability. The price, if you're saying going for this original colorway, as I say, you can pick it up for £112. That is a good price for what is a strong and robust trimmer. That's another one of the positives. This trimmer is strong and it is robust. This is the original one I've had since 2019. It is still going like a workhorse. The only thing that I've changed on this is I've just changed the blade as well. After a few years of heavy usage, just changed the blade out for a fresh blade. Other than that, everything else is still original, still the same. So that's one thing you're getting, is a very solid, well-built trimmer. Next thing, lightweight. It's a bit heavier than the Andis Slimline Pro Li, but it's still not too heavy. It's a plastic body, so it's not a metal housing. So weight-wise, it's a nice weight, very comfortable in the hand to use over prolonged periods of time. Whether you're balding out or if you're doing patterns and detail work, it's comfortable and lightweight to hold. Then you've got the T-wide blade. A lot of the modern variants now come with the T-wide blade. Now my version, which is the original one, comes with the standard size blade. I'll just let it zoom in here and you can see it. So this here was the standard size blade. It's not the T-wide blade. I personally like this standard size blade, but some of you may prefer the T-wide blade. The T-wide blade is 6mm longer than this blade, so just got more coverage, and for some people they prefer that version, but I'm a big fan of the standard one. That's just my personal preference, really. Then next positive, charge time. 45-minute charge time, which is really useful, particularly if you're in a mobile setting, which I do mobile barbering. But if you're in a shop, I guess it wouldn't matter as much. You can just have it on the dock. But that quick 45-minute charge time is really handy, is really useful as well, and is better than some of the other trimmers that were on the market at the time when this was launched. And I'd say it's still comparable with modern day trimmers, which are charging faster now as well. The next thing for me is the motor. It is a powerful motor which allows for good balding out. If you're just putting in that skin area, you can easily just bald out with one of these, no problem whatsoever. Also good for, say, just the shaping up, doing patterns. Good blade which is sharp and delivers really nice sharp lines, and is easy to zero gap. I have adjusted the blade so it is zero gapped, but easy to do, and once again when you set these right, they really hit hard and heavy and give really great lines. Okay, Next thing for me will be the fact that this trimmer stays cool over long periods of time, which is really essential if you're going to be doing like pattern work, any kind of long, intricate detail work. Then having a blade that stays cool is really key, so the client isn't having their head feeling like it's burning when you're doing your work. So that's another key thing for me, which with some of the other trimmers you've heard me say before, whilst I'm a big fan of Babyliss' products and I've got a lot of them, the blades do get hot too quick because of how powerful they are. So when it comes to doing prolonged detail work, I've not really found them great in that area, but they are great in other areas as well. So I'm not dissing Babyliss here, just giving some my objective view. Okay. Then it does have a battery light indicator, so you'll know if you've used it. It's got the Li, which lights up. It might even show when I turn it on. There we go. So yep, the Li lights up as a battery indicator, and it begins to flash when it's at, I believe, 20% or 20 minutes left of battery. It lights up, so that's useful. Also, it's not too loud as well. I mean, you might think different just based on me turning it on, but I don't think it's that loud as well. It's a good sound, not too loud as a trimmer. And then finally for me as well, a lot of the modern variants of this trimmer now come with a charging stand. So for people who are in the shop environment, just having that charging stand plop there, nice presentation, just quick to pick up, know that it's charged up and ready to go. So those are like the positives for me. So now let's get into just a couple of maybe say negatives, and this is very objective, okay? You may think different on this. So one for me is just the body design. For some, they may not find the body design as ergonomic as other trimmers that are about. Personally, I find the Andy Slimline Pro Li more comfortable in hand based on its ergonomic design, but this still is a great trimmer regardless. But for some people, this wide body design may not feel as comfortable. So that's just one thing, but that is very subjective to the individual. And then the other thing for me is the pricing. If you were to go, for example, say like the gold and black version, which is £138, many of you will be aware now that Wahl have released, if you want to say, an upgrade or big brother to this trimmer, which is the Wahl High Vis trimmer, which is a metal housing. It's got a nice thin neck, so you can see more of the detail work that you're doing. A different blade, I think it's a DL coated, or it's a different kind of blade that they've got, which has been having very good reviews since it's come out. And the price of that at the moment, you can pick those up for about £168 in the UK. So one thing I would say is, you know, if I was in the market for a trimmer today and this wasn't working anymore, I think I might be tempted just to spend that extra £35 and go for the high vis trimmer, because the reviews on it have been very good. It does seem to really hit well in terms of design work and shaping up, and got that nice metal body, so robust. So I feel like it's almost like maybe say a step up from the Wahl Detailer Li. So that might be one thing that someone might say is, you know, pricing wise, for not that much more, I'd go for the high vis trimmer. But other than that, now, to my view, is this still worth buying in 2025? Absolutely. Whether you are a professional barber or you're someone who just wants a trimmer to do your beard or do home cuts, 100% this is worth buying. Whether you get this version, which says is a bit cheaper, or you go for say like the black and gold or one of the other colorways that's a little bit more, this is just a reliable, dependable, fantastic trimmer that does great trims, great shape ups, great detail work, and great for balding out. So I would recommend it. So there it is, guys. That's my view on the Wahl Detailer Li in 2025. If any of you are using this, leave your comments, tell me what you think about it. And as always, like and subscribe. And until next time, guys, take care. Peace.